Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
I didn't get to hold him no more. I didn't get to see him no more.
The pain still fresh as Uvalde, Texas marks 1 year since the elementary school shooting that took 21 lives. We're tracking the community's next steps and how school safety has changed here at home.
It's a pleasantly cool start this morning. Temperatures range from 50 in Roxborough to 59 in Fayetteville. I'll show you why our temperatures will stay cooler than normal for the next few days.
We got to win a game. That's the way we came into the series, and it's the way we are right now.
There you heard it. It is a must-win night for the Carolina Hurricanes. How the team is gearing up for this crucial Game 4 in the Eastern Conference Final. We're getting you geared up for your Wednesday right here at 6 a.m. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. And look at this little patch of sunrise here behind me as we look live at downtown Raleigh. Pleasant temperatures out there, and we're just going to keep things on the cooler side for me. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
We're going to take a look at the airport because we've got a lot of sky to see in this picture over Terminal 2. And you can see most of the sky is covered with clouds like it was yesterday. We'll see a few breaks here and there, but we'll see more sunshine later this afternoon. So today is going to mimic tomorrow very closely. 57 is our temperature for most of us heading out the door. Our wind is still coming out of the northeast, and that northeasterly wind, of course, is cool as it comes out of the north off the Atlantic. So we're going to see the cool temperatures remaining until that pattern changes. In the summertime, we have our flow coming almost always from the southwest. That brings in the heat and the humidity. This northeasterly wind is keeping us cool, but damp enough for a little bit of cloud cover. 57 in Durham and Raleigh, 59 Fayetteville, 56 Rocky Mount and in Southern Pine. So temperatures are pleasantly cool. We're starting with a good bit of cloud cover this morning, but once we get past lunchtime, about 50% of the sky will be covered by clouds, so we'll see a lot more sun. 72 at lunchtime. We'll see highs climbing into the upper 70s later on this afternoon. That's below normal, and with our northeasterly wind, our temperatures remain below normal into the weekend. We add rain to that, too. That's going to make it feel pretty chilly for Saturday and Sunday. I'll show you coming up. Brian?
It is 6:01 right now, and we're still looking pretty quiet around the triangle as we take a look at that live map. Just check with Raleigh 911. No calls of any crashes anywhere in Wake County. We're also quiet in Durham and Chapel Hill at the moment. I want to take you to Cary and show you that live camera out at US 164 and Tryon Road. We're looking back toward Apex, so the headlights you see here are northbound on US 1. No trouble from 55 in Apex all the way up to I-40 in Raleigh. Elizabeth and I will be back with another live update in about 10 minutes.
It's 1 year to the day. Plans are in place to honor the 19 students and 2 teachers shot and killed at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. And we're taking a look at what has changed in schools locally. Across the state of Texas, a moment of silence will take place at 11:30 this morning, the moment the shooting started. Families there say they still can't get answers about an ongoing independent investigation into the attack. Surveillance video showed police officers waiting in the hallways of the school for more than an hour before confronting the gunman. Calls for accountability are growing.
In a year's time, they still don't have answers to simple questions that they should have gotten. I mean, I'm the mayor. I've been 1 year. I haven't got one briefing from anybody from day one. Not one.
Later this morning, families of the victims will meet for a private tour of the city's healing murals. There's also a candlelight vigil tonight. President Biden also plans to speak today from the White House and call for Republicans in Congress to do more to address gun violence.
School systems in our area have been working to boost security and safety. That includes more oversight for those allowed inside schools. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live this morning with some of the big changes that have been made and more that could be on the way. Laura.
Renee, good morning. Schools are investing millions of dollars in school security, everything from added police presence to high-tech weapons detection systems. In fact, we were standing right here just a few months ago when several police officers surrounded East Millbrook Middle School here when the school was forced to go on lockdown. This becoming a very familiar sight as an increase of threats are made to local schools. Now, just last night, Wake County Public Schools considered new rules for visitors under Under a draft plan, visitors would need to show ID, submit to a background check, and be chaperoned throughout their visit. Durham is discussing the use of weapons detection systems at its schools after having a trial period. Meanwhile, Person County has already installed systems at 3 of its schools. Granville County has approved plans to install metal detectors in all 8 of its elementary schools. And I've also reached out to Nash and Johnston County schools who have plans of installing the equipment in coming weeks. Now, Harnett County schools also discussing the possibility at this time. And as we enter the summer months, many of these schools are making those installations, but also preparing for how they're going to get ready for the next school year. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
More counselors will be at Hobton Middle School in Sampson County today, helping students and staff cope after the death of a 6th grade student. 13-year-old Curtis Brown Jr. died after being hit by a car on Keener Road near Ashford Road. This happened just before 5 yesterday evening. State troopers say Brown darted out into the road in front of the car and was hit. The 19-year-old driver of that car will not face charges.
Another push to expand gambling in North Carolina will get its day in the General Assembly, where you're looking live right now. A key state Senate committee will consider a plan to allow sports betting on mobile devices. The state House already signed off on the idea back in March. It would license operators to accept bets and send some of the revenue toward college athletics departments. More than 24 states have legalized mobile sports betting since 2018.
It is all on the line tonight for the Carolina Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's a must-win situation. Game 4 against Florida. They've dropped the first 3 games. They've all been close, 1 goal each. Coach Rod Brindamore says the team needs to just take it one more game at a time here, and he says they've had some tough luck. No bounces so far in this series, but their effort has been strong.
We're going to have stretches, and we're in one now where it's not going your way, but I don't ever fault this group for. I mean, I got to get more effort out of them. We're not playing hard enough. It's just not how we do it.
Puck drops tonight's game. Florida is at 8 o'clock, and we'll head there for a closer look in our next half hour.
Governor Roy Cooper is taking his warning about the future of public education in North Carolina back on the road again today. He'll be at an elementary school in Charlotte to rally the community against Republican-backed proposals to expand the state's private school voucher program. It's his second stop after declaring a state of emergency for public education. The governor says the GOP's plans would also hurt early education.
The lack of funding in early childhood in both these budgets is appalling, particularly when that was one of the main tenets of the Leandro case. That's one of the things that businesses, the Chamber of Commerce has endorsed. They've come over and said, you've got to invest in early childhood education and quality child care, and they pretty much left it all out.
Cooper mentioned the Leandro lawsuit, which required the state to spend billions of dollars on public education. WRAL's Education Insider has a deeper dive into how that case would be affected on WRAL.com.
Today, state leaders will address a historic staffing shortage in North Carolina's government. The State Employees Association of NC will join members of the Council of State at 1 o'clock this afternoon to talk about the hiring problems that are affecting the state, like in state hospitals and the DMV wait times, things like that. WRAL learned this month record high turnover cost taxpayers about $500 million last year. State lawmakers have proposed up to 7.5 pay raises over 2 years to address this issue, but state employees say that's not high enough.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, I want to show you what's going on in Guam right now. Super Typhoon Mawar is actually passing over Guam as we speak. People are experiencing intense winds, torrential rain, and life-threatening storm surge. I want to show you some video that I found on Twitter. Take a look at this. This is what they are going through right now. Forecasters saying they're seeing almost whiteout conditions there. Lightning has become an increasing threat, and an extreme wind warning was also in effect for northern Guam. Take a look at this video I also found. It's a little hard to see. You see that? That is a car flipping over several times because of these intense winds. They are They're telling people stay inside. They say trees are coming down, power lines are coming down. Everybody needs to shelter in place. This did hit Guam as a Category 4 storm. They say it could intensify to a Category 5 before this is all said and done.
Thanks, Michelle. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is expected to launch his 2024 presidential campaign tonight. Florida First Lady Casey DeSantis posted this teaser video to social media last night. A spokesperson for Governor DeSantis' team says he will make his announcement during a conversation with owner Elon Musk on Twitter Spaces. DeSantis is expected to have a kickoff event for his campaign next week.
South Carolina's governor says he will sign a bill to ban most abortions after 6 weeks into law. He posted on Twitter right after the measure reached his desk last night. The bill restores a ban that was overturned by the state's highest court earlier this year. It includes exceptions, including for procedures that would save the mother's life and in cases of rape or incest up to 12 weeks. Doctors who perform these procedures will need to report them to law enforcement.
Work begins in Durham on a plan this morning to spend your tax dollars. City Council is holding its first budget work session at 9 a.m. They'll discuss the proposal from the city manager unveiled last week. It includes pay raises for city staff between 6% and 8%. Firefighters and police officers would get a 7% raise. You can share your thoughts on the budget at a hearing on June 5th. And read more about what's inside the plan right now on WRAL.com.
I waited for almost an hour. I tried calling the phone and then there's nothing.
A long wait ends in tragedy. Just ahead, hear from the man who was supposed to meet the pilot killed in a plane crash in Orange County.
I'm Ken Smith. Netflix wants to put an end to password sharing. Coming up, we'll walk you through some new restrictions you need to know as the global streaming service launches a crackdown right here in the U.S.
Today and tomorrow, very much like yesterday, starting with clouds in the morning, some sunshine in the afternoon. And then we change up the pattern for the weekend. It is wetter, especially Sunday. I'll walk you through the new timeline for the weekend coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
It is 6:13, a pretty sunrise here in Sanford, but more clouds than sun out there right now. That will switch this afternoon as we see more sunshine and less cloud cover, but we're starting off with a pretty sunrise in a lot of places this morning. Temperatures are in the 50s as you step out the door, 53 in Tarboro, 59 in Fayetteville, 52 in South Hill, 56 degrees in Goldsboro. School day forecast, maybe a light jacket. I was happy to have a jacket on this morning with my short sleeves. Temperatures by lunchtime, if the kids are out on the playground, will be in the low 70s, and as they're coming home, temperatures will be in the mid to upper 70s. Again, looking at some sunshine, so pleasant, low humidity, and not quite as breezy as it was yesterday. We continue to trend wetter over the weekend, especially on Sunday. I'll show you the latest timeline on Futurecast coming up. Brian?
It is 6:14, following some breaking news right now in Apex. This is the live camera at 55 in US 1, and you can see a crash down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. An ambulance just arrived there. This is affecting traffic on 55 westbound, so heading away from Holly Springs through that US 1 interchange toward downtown Apex. Allow some extra time as you head through there, as it looks like they have at least one right lane blocked on 55 westbound. You can see that showing up there on the map. Elsewhere around the triangle, we're looking good right now with no big delays showing up on any of your major routes in Wake County. We'll take a closer look at Durham coming up in just a couple of minutes.
This morning, we are hearing from a man who was supposed to meet a pilot who ended up dying in a plane crash. We're talking about this one near Rougemont in Orange County. We've been reporting on this since Sunday afternoon. 68-year-old John Bowfinger died when the plane went down in the trees. Richard Zazula says he was supposed to meet Bowfinger when he landed, but that never happened.
I waited for almost an hour. I tried calling the phone and then there's nothing. I kept on doing a couple little Google searches into single engine plane crash and one came up. It was upsetting. I was a little sleepless a little bit.
Can't even imagine. The NTSB is investigating what caused the crash, as well as a separate crash that same day, just 50 miles away in Warren County. That sent someone to the hospital in critical condition with severe burns.
Heads up if you share your Netflix password with a friend or if you're using someone else's. The streaming service is coming for you. WRAL's Ken Smith joins us this morning with what you need to know about the crackdown on password sharing that has officially begun. Ken.
You know, Renee, this was a thing for so many friends and family trying to save some money, right? Well, now the freebies are over. The streaming giant already rolled out these restrictions in other parts of the world, including Canada and New Zealand. Netflix is saying accounts should be limited to one household. Basically, your account is for you and the people who live with you.
Pretty soon, if you are using someone else's password and you don't live in their household, then at some point your device is just no longer going to work.
All right, we're breaking it down for you. Keep in mind, extra members will have some limitations. First, there are restrictions on the number of extra members based on different plans. Also, extra members can only stream a TV show or a movie on one device, and extra members will be limited on downloading content for later viewing. Now, you'll want to stay tuned for today, right after our morning news. Find out how you can keep your streaming family together for just a couple more dollars per month. Jeff?
All right, Ken, they're looking out for you now. And we're looking out for a beautiful sunrise on the way. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. We're past the sunrise point, but some of these clouds are going to make it pretty interesting.
Definitely. This is a live look at Rocky Mountain Mills. A bit more cloud cover in this view than we were seeing in some others. So we'll call it variably cloudy for you this morning. We'll see more sunshine later on this afternoon. Today's going to be very much like yesterday. The only real difference is it may not be quite as breezy as it was yesterday. Let's jump on in and talk about our latest thoughts for our Memorial Day holiday. It definitely looks cool with fairly widespread rain on Saturday. The timing of that rain on Saturday still a little bit in question. The models diverge there a little bit, with some of them bringing rain all day Saturday and others bringing it in closer to lunchtime or so on Saturday. Sunday, instead of seeing that system just continuing to move on up the coast and away from us, it looks like it's just going to sit here now and gradually fall apart. So that means that we're trending wetter for Sunday with cloudy skies and then some lingering moisture on Monday. A few breaks in the clouds, a little bit warmer with a chance of some afternoon thunderstorms. So of the 3 days, Monday looks the driest, but it still looks like we could see some scattered storms. And today's Wednesday. We'll continue to see more information coming in, obviously. So we may be able to tweak this just a little bit. Right now, things are quiet. You can see the cloud cover that's over North Carolina, and that cloud cover will dissipate a little bit this afternoon, bringing us more sunshine. We jump into Futurecast. This version of Futurecast is a little slower with the arrival of the rain, so it could end up being a little faster than this, but I liked the rest of the way this model looks. So this is Friday morning at 8 a.m. and this has everything dry for us on Friday. And then it starts to push the rain in Saturday morning. It arrives in the triangle around lunchtime. It continues to spread northward and then westward. If you're headed to the mountains or to the beaches, there's really no place in North Carolina that you're going to be able to escape the rain on Saturday and Sunday. This is Sunday morning at 8 a.m. and you can see widespread rain across the state. That continues through the afternoon and evening. There's 6 p.m. on Sunday. Again, this low is going to move in and just gradually just fall apart. And that keeps the moisture around through the weekend. On Monday, a little bit lighter in terms of coverage there. Again, just some isolated to scattered thunderstorms. How much rainfall out of this will we see? Likely between Friday and Saturday, half an inch or maybe close to an inch. We're going to continue to total it up half an inch to maybe as much as an inch and a half by the end of the day on Sunday, and maybe a little bit more on Monday. So everybody's likely to see a half an inch to 2 inches depending on where you are. And it's going to be breezy too. On Friday, we're going to see winds gusting up to 30, 35 miles per hour, and it jumps up to 40 on Saturday. Isolated flooding, especially in the east where we could see as much as 2 inches of rain out of this, and then cooler high temperatures too. Here's what we're looking at. 70s through Friday, but 68 on Saturday, low 70s on Sunday. It looks a little bit warmer to start next week. Brian?
All right, 6:20 right now. We are watching this crash in Apex. This is on 55 at US 1, and it appears to be affecting the westbound side of 55. So coming out of Holly Springs, heading through US 1 out toward Apex. You can see where it looks like they have the right lane blocked there on 55 westbound. Also at the top of that ramp from US 1 southbound onto 55. A lot of activity blocking that those two turn lanes there. Allow some extra time heading through that area, heading out of Holly Springs back toward Apex. You might consider using 1010 as an alternate route, or maybe even 540 if you're there on the south side of Apex. Also watching a crash right now in Johnston County on 40 eastbound. This is just past 242 heading down toward the Benson area. Other major routes around Wake County are looking all right. And as we take a look at Durham right now, we're not picking up any unusual delays. 40's looking good in both directions, and 85 northbound out of Hillsboro, just a 1-minute slowdown as you head out toward the 147 interchange.
Brian, thanks. A last-minute announcement could shake up your weekend plans and your chance to see some hot air balloons. The big changes to the schedule for the annual First Fruits Farm Balloon Memorial Festival.
Plus,
personality is there, and we see it, in little things.
A teenager crosses the street and has her life changed forever. Her family speaks only on WRAL about the crash that ended her ability to walk and talk.
Then ahead on Today, why scientists are now searching to see if weight loss drugs like Ozempic could be used to fight all kinds of addictions.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
We're hearing from the new champions of The Voice this morning. Singer Gina Miles and her coach, Niall Horan, took home the crown.
Brian Schrader here now with What's Trending on our Wednesday, Brian.
Yeah, both of them seemed shocked when they spoke after the big finale last night.
Like, when he read her name, I was like, what the heck?
And then they called my name, which was really crazy. We're just working it out, so...
A big night for them and a big night for Blake Shelton because it was his last time on The Voice.
Yeah, this is totally interesting. Niall Horan, a first-time coach, and Shelton going out, a last-time coach. Really wanted the win, didn't get it. But Gina Miles sang Billy Joel's New York State of Mind. Knocked it out of the park.
Impressed the judges and wowed America.
There you go. Bruce Willis's wife, Emma, is sharing a family update. She posted on Instagram saying their 9-year-old daughter had researched some facts about dementia and had made a list at school for her dad. Emma says that Evelyn and her dad both share a love of random facts.
And when Emma was sharing that story there on social media, she got really emotional because she was just so proud of her daughter, saying that that was the most loving and compassionate thing that she could do to show that she supported her dad by educating herself about what her dad is going through. But clearly that love and support coming through for Bruce Willis in his family and beyond.
Yeah, dads and their daughters, Thanks for that, Brian.
You'll need to reconsider your weekend plans if they included a trip to the First Fruits Farm Memorial Balloon Festival. The organizers of the event in Lewisburg announced it's being pushed back until the weekend of June 3rd and 4th. It was originally scheduled for the holiday weekend. The festival includes music, hot air balloons, and tributes to our nation's fallen servicemen and women. WRAL is a proud community partner.
Sports betting could become legal in North Carolina. Coming up, we're going to tell you about what's happening this morning to try and get that to happen.
Plus, will it help competition or raise costs for you? The growing concerns about a potentially huge transformation of our state's largest health insurer.
And at the bus stop this morning, skies are mostly gray, but temperatures are feeling nice. Expect mid-50s as the kids are getting on the bus. As they get off the bus, we'll see more sunshine and temperatures in the upper 70s. Coming up, we'll talk more about when the next band of rain comes through.